So today I'll be reviewing the NVX XQW124 quote-unquote 12-inch awesome best subwoofer that NVX makes. This is a real review. This is not a bump it and see how it bumps review. This is a in-depth audiophile review. So, enjoy. It comes in its own special, well-padded big old box. It opens up like this, and there's just really good padding in there and everything else. In the box you get a manual. It's a small manual. It looks like this. Very small, couple pages, and really that's all you need. The first page of the manual is some TS parameters. Just a couple. One of the things that NVX advertises as part of this subwoofer is OSD surround technology. And basically it's a technology that makes the cone a little bit bigger for the given subwoofer size. And this is how it works. So they've got a patent on this. It's a surround that mounts vertically, and then it comes straight up and then comes back down, and so the cone of the subwoofer is like my hand. The surround works kind of like this, so it comes up vertical and then the cone moves like this. So that's supposed to give you more cone area. The thing is, the subwoofer is actually just plain bigger. It's a big 12. It's not a standard 12-inch size. It's just bigger. And that's my complaint with it. So, you know, I was expecting a 12-inch subwoofer, but what I'm really getting is a 13. The mounting diameter of this subwoofer is 12.76 inches. Okay, so that's the manual. That's a couple of the things that I noticed in the manual. 400 watts RMS, no big deal. Cool. Alright, here's the NVX X Series XQW124 subwoofer. This subwoofer, the first thing I noticed here is that they have the wiring done already with these little clips. It comes wired to 2 ohms, and then you just have one set of speaker binding posts. In here you have a couple of stitched leads, humongous magnet, and you can see the giant hole in the back. I can stick like half my hand in that. It's a 3-inch coil, and let me see if we can see the insides. Okay, that's pretty cool looking in there. Alright, so I got the magnet boot off this. Here's the boot. As you can see, it wasn't hiding too much. It's not like some of these cheap subwoofers that they use a giant boot to hide a tiny magnet. This magnet is enormous. It's not a triple stack. The Alpine Type R has a triple stack magnet, but the thing is, this one is wider. So it's wider out than the Alpine Type R was, and I think that is part of what they need for their shallow mounting depth. Apparently this is a shallow sub, but it's not. It's not a shallow subwoofer. But for what you get, I think you're going to get a lot of bass in less space with this anyway. I got it with the NVX sealed box from Sonic Electronics, and this box only fits this subwoofer. Let's plug this thing into WinISD and see what it'll do in a couple of different boxes. So I have this plugged in here to WinISD, and I have a sealed box as the blue line here, and a ported box as the red line over here. These are the recommended sealed and ported box. It's a 0.8 cubic foot sealed box. Sealed box, you have a roll-off starting at about like 90 hertz. This thing rolls off very gradually and just continues to roll off. You're 3 decibel down, man, all the way up at like 60 hertz. So that's your 3 decibel down right in here. That's in the sealed box. So it doesn't look too good for this subwoofer on paper, but believe me, it's a really nice sound. Let's go with the ported box. The ported box here is the red line. This is a ported box, 1.85 cubic feet. tuned at 32 Hertz, which is their recommendation. And in this ported box, you are going to start rolling off around 38 Hertz. The 3 decibel down is at about 30 Hertz. This is 30 Hertz here at this line. There's 40, here's 50. So your 3 decibel down is going to be at 30 Hertz. I think for most audiophiles that's just fine unless you're into freakish low bass. Most of the pertinent audio information in any song is going to be 40 Hertz and above. 30 Hertz for some rap songs and things like that. But overall you're going to have some really flat frequency response. And should be good. Let's look at the group delay. And clearly you have almost no group delay in the sealed box. Just fine. Beautiful transients. Perfectly accurate. That's what NVX advertises. And then also in the ported box, at like 30 Hertz, which is low, you get 20 milliseconds of delay. Really not going to notice that ever. So, again, extremely accurate still. No hearable distortion in the delay of the speaker or anything like that. So you're good there. Let's see. They have the cone excursion. We are powering our ported box with 400 watts RMS, which is up at the rating. And the excursion, you won't encounter a problem until about 24 Hertz when it might start getting a bit scary. So at about 24 Hertz, 400 watts is when you'll notice, or when you might have an excursion issue in the ported box. The sealed box, however, let's look at the sealed box. Sealed box is the blue line, remember? Red's ported, blue is sealed. This line, actually, I have this box with 800 watts RMS, double the power rating going into it. You are still not going to have any excursion issues giving this thing twice its rated power in a sealed box. You are well below 20 millimeters, which is the X max, with 400 watts RMS. And so this, I have this box with 800 watts going into it. This is just to demonstrate this subwoofer is under control in a sealed box. It is designed for a sealed box. It works great in a sealed box. So you can really power this thing up. Just make sure you need to watch the thermal side of things. Make sure it doesn't overheat. Don't blow a voice coil. These things are expensive. But anyway, it can take the power and not get out of control. So, cool. That's cone excursion, group delay, and the SPL. Let's take it out to the car and see what it actually looks like, sounds like. Give it a little demo and see what it sounds like with about 400 watts RMS.
Let me hold you. I won't let anybody hurt you.
So you saw it out there doing its thing. With the 400 watts that I can give it, it keeps up with amped up mids and highs. I had two Infinity Reference 10s that I replaced this subwoofer, replaced. So I had two 10s in a sealed box, running off about the same power, and gotta say, this one's about the same volume as the two 10s. Strangely enough, usually 112 can't keep up with two 10s, but honestly, this is pretty similar, and I have no complaints as far as the output goes. It's nothing special. It's not a super SPL kind of subwoofer, although I imagine if you got 600 or 700 watts on this, it would wake up really good. And in a sealed box, we discovered that you can probably put 600 or 700 watts on it with no problems. I did get this subwoofer from Sonic Electronics. With the box, the box was free, apparently. The subwoofer and the box together were $189, which makes it clearly the most expensive subwoofer I've ever bought. the Alpine Type R being the last really expensive subwoofer I've owned. The Alpine Type R and this really don't compete. I have to say that the Type R and this X Series NVX are two very different beasts. The Alpine is like a low bass vibrating box. Lots of SPL, and you can put some real power to it and not be afraid. Same X-Max, lower SPL, lot more lows. That's the Alpine Type R. You know, if you have a lot of power available to you, that subwoofer might work really well for you. But I like the X Series NVX a lot better, personally. Really, qualitatively, the thing is just silky smooth. It sounds really good. All types of music, whatever you're playing. If it's something transparent, it'll drop right into the background and not be heard. And when there's a rap song or a techno song or something of that nature, man, the kick is very evident and it's all there. Anyway, that's my review of the NVX X Series, their best model, the 12-inch XQW124. Thank you for watching, and please ask questions if you have any. Have a nice day.